We're live. Welcome to In Exile Archives live. I wanted to tell you guys about my trip to Arizona. It was kind of a quickie emergency trip I had to take, but I ended up getting to have breakfast with Liz Harris and her lovely mom, Monica. And I got to hang out with my old friend, Barry McGuire of McGuire Car Wax and Car Crazy fame. I was best friends with his daughters actually back in school, in college. She was a fellow art major, and just my roots go really deep with that family. And they've always been very kind to me back when I was just some dumb kid. I don't know why, but I want to tell you guys quickly about my wife's cousin Gage. This is one of the weirdest stories, so I have to share it with you. But Gage Ship passed away, and that's why we had this emergency funeral back in Arizona. All of my wife's family is, from Scottsdale, Chandler, Queen Creek, all in that area, Mesa. And but yeah, oh, look at that. Here we go. There's Habida Hubada. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for the ministry that is your channel. Yes, I am a Christian, in case you didn't notice. And of course, I welcome all non-Christians here and all Christians here. I will always only share the gospel. And it's because I wish I could, I don't wish, but if there was another answer I could give you, I would give you another answer. But that is ultimately the only answer. It is above politics. It's above philosophy. It's above my art. The grounding of mankind is God. Okay, but this gets me to Gage. So Gage died about a week ago. He passed away in his sleep of an enlarged heart at 50 years old. So this is Angie's cousin Gage. And I just wanted to tell you guys a couple stories about him because it was such a strange story to go to his funeral. And I got to see all of Angie's family, my mother-in-law and her Uncle Herb, and some of my cousins are there. And but Gage was like just a kind of a bigger than life guy. He was huge. He served in the Marines, and I knew him in the Mohawk stage and the short hair stage and the long hair, Big Lebowski stage. And he ended up falling into drugs and just kind of, got a divorce and just really was lost for a while. And then he returned to the Christianity of his youth and started having these bizarre visions. He would talk to God all the time and interpret dreams. And he would bring out this he went to Israel to wait for the coming of Christ. And he would get out this giant menorah and light all the candles. And I'm like, yeah, okay, Gage, whatever. I mean, I wasn't that dismissive, actually. We would debate a lot about the nature of God and the scriptures and all that. But a brilliant guy, always a faithful friend, a huge fan of this show. And the night of his death, one of the last things he did was he texted me at 8:30 at night on Facebook saying, YouTube blocked your channel from me. I can't see it. So he's very, is always defending my faith and my politics on Facebook and everywhere, which always means he's a true ally of mine and just truly always had my back. I'm not a perfect guy, obviously, but we go to his funeral and suddenly they had an open mic time where people could come and share their testimony. And, so here's Gage, this guy who's like practically living out of his car. At some points in his life, he would stay with us out here in Tennessee sometimes and visit. Ex-drug addicts started coming up to the microphone and saying, I wouldn't be alive without Gage. I was addicted to heroin. And then his wife would come up and say, I wouldn't be married and alive if I was without Gage. I was addicted to methamphetamines. And then another guy would come up and he was like, I was so crazy on drugs that I, put the blankets over my head and no one wanted to be around me. I was such a hateful person. And I found God because of Gage. And one guy on an Indian reservation who was in prison, and Gage, I'm sorry, got a vision, and he started going into this prison on, where this hardened criminal was, and said, I'm looking for this guy. And he said his name, and he was shouting it through all the cells, and they finally found him in this area. And he said, and Gage said, God told me to tell you that I am to cut you out of this evil and bring you to God. Now, the guy didn't know Gage. And he was at the funeral. He had accepted Christ. His wife was there, and his children there, and his family was back together again. Now, after a while, and guys would just say, look, Gage, saved me when I was down on my luck. He gave me an envelope full of money. What an incredible testimony, because as I stood around in this church, I said, for however strange Gage was, with all of these testimonies, the one who was the most Christ-like in that whole church was Gage. He was doing what Christ would have done, gone to prisons, gone to the drug addict, loved him, saved him, preached the gospel, and saved him. So I was just really humbled by the whole thing. It was a really sacred event. We put his ashes in the ground, and we all got to say something, and the family was just all there. We got to have a together time with the family, and it was just an amazing time. So because I was flying out to Arizona anyways for the memorial service, I was able to took my brother-in-law, Doug, Angie's brother's name is Doug, out to dinner for his 59th birthday, and then breakfast with Liz Harris, and then got to see Barry McGuire. So that was my trip to Arizona. I don't know how many of you were curious, but of course, all of the news about the audit, and there's a lot of other, Barry McGuire is off working with like Charlie Kirk in this kind of Christian conservative group out of Washington, D.C., where they do a lot of fundraising. And so these are some of the people who can vouch for. He knows Mike Lindell and the president of Hobby Lobby and Mike Pence, that they vouch for these guys as on the team, in the right place, being used by God. And I just see a lot of amazing changes coming to this country just by the news that I hear on the ground. Liz Harris told me, as you guys saw in the previous video, that they're working to start their audits on the 14 other counties in Arizona. And this is all because of the success of Maricopa. You're seeing the same thing in Wisconsin and in Georgia. That good news is happening for a really strong, big tidal wave of legal experts and people coming forward with new information. So it's coming. Anyways, that's what I'm working on. So I've been out all weekend, so I have a lot of work to make up for. I knew because I was leaving that weekend, I did all the shows that dumped this weekend. I did them on Friday and scheduled them to release throughout the weekend, so you'd have something to watch. This is the new channel. If you haven't subscribed, of course, if you're here, you've probably subscribed and rung the bell. So thank you for doing that. I did put the link. Some of you are asking about Out of the Darkness. Where's Out of the Darkness? He got a second channel strike. So he opened up another channel too. So if you put in the search, Out of the Darkness, again, is his channel. It's just like my Doug in Exile archives. He has Out of the Darkness. Again, I put a link in the description. Go give him a subscription if you're looking for Out of the Darkness. He is a faithful brother and a strong, strong conservative voice. Really just a great brother. So I appreciate that, guys. Okay, so, oh, look at that. There's Behizzy. Behizzy is asking, just watch Barry McGuire thing. Who is he? There's a famous car wax company called McGuire's Car Wax. It was invented by his father, Malcolm. And Barry McGuire really went grassroots to car conventions in the early 70s and really blew the brand up. And now it's one of America's leading, it's the #1 premium car wax in the world. But he is a Christian man who gives a lot of his money to charity and to spread the gospel around the world. And also, he's very involved in conservatism and Christian conservative politics. So, like I said, he does a lot of work with the youth, with the conservative Christian youth, with Charlie Kirk, president of Hobby Lobby, Mike Lindell, and he are good friends, and Mike Pence. So, there's a lot of, I'm just saying, the support is broad and getting broader. It's really big and going forward with great strength. I think the problem right now with conservatism is it's not organized. We never had the grassroots kind of, Obama was famously an organizer, a community organizer. And we never really had the formal organization, so that right now you have a lot of people working on a lot of different fronts. But we're slowly finding each other. And I think if they're not out of it yet, if they haven't figured it out yet, they will, because the Biden administration is going to really consolidate and group all of the conservatives back together. That's why Trump and Wood need to get together. Yeah, the problem with that is Lin Wood needs to get on board. Lin Wood is creating division, I believe, and there's a lot of evidence for that. And they're trying to run the reformation of the Republican Party out of MAGA Central in Mar-a-Lago in Florida. And so these are from my people who are on the ground talking, are very much putting a lot of money and a lot of resources and a lot of volunteer time so that it's run, organized through Trump's Make America Great Again. It's coming. I'm going to do another video on Trump's media platform. It's starting to get meat put on it and bones put on it. It's going to take a long time to program that thing. Is all I'm saying is it's very hard to assemble the tech crew side of things, but I promise you it's coming. It is going to be huge. It is going to be the main brand is going to be conservative, yet free speech. So you're going to be free to post and talk to each other about whatever you want to talk about on this thing. So I'm saying I know guys on that team. I can't reveal a lot about it because this is proprietary stuff, but it is, I only don't know how big it's going to be. I know what kind of thing it's going to be. We don't know how big or even how stable it is, because that comes after you build it and after it's programmed, and you have to do a lot of alpha and beta testing, which is like working all the bugs out of it, because there's no such thing as a piece of software that launches perfect. It always has huge problems, and it's going to take a long time to work a lot of those problems out. And you have to have a solid team of programmers that can go in and fix bugs and fix problems and outages and all of that. This streaming media requires so much pipeline to push this much data through. It's very difficult for a startup to hit it right the first time. So I'm only saying they'll get it to a certain point, and then there you go. There's Nikki Harris. Oh, my people, my old school people. There you go. American Conservatives Unite. That is true. Reagan Lodge is here. Oh, old school Reagan Lodge, one of my old buddies. I appreciate you, man. There's Richard Hertz. Doug, please use your forum to expose the corruption, the passing of AB4 during a special midnight session, the corrupt voter rolls that even Steven Crowder did an episode of here in Nevada. Yeah, okay, I talked a lot about this with Liz Harrod off. I did not put that in the video because I'm not allowed to expose a lot of that, but there's work. And this is both Pulitzer and guys like Bobby Pitton and stuff like that. There are tech guys that are looking at voter rolls being corrected in the night. So that's all I'll say about that now. I don't want to, in a way, you don't want to announce. So we get a lot of news, right? And as soon as, if we post something that's too early, then all it does is it announces to the Democrats what we're doing, and they can go and try and block it and manipulate information to keep it from being properly dealt with. So I'm just saying there's, you know, and that's true for both parties. Both parties do opposition research. It's called opposition research. So I'm just saying there's good people working on stuff right now there. We need to get rid of Pelosi and Schumer. Yeah. Give it time. 2022, they're going to lose a whole lot of power. I'll tell you that much. Give me a wrench, big guy. I can continue monitoring like okay. Yeah. I'll get you a wrench, Reagan. No problem. I don't see the controls on this channel right now. How's that? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me see here. No, I don't have the ability to give you a wrench even. What is the deal? I'll get you one, brother. I'll get you one. Yeah, okay, there's questions about Mike Lindell's platform. It's the same thing. This thing's going to take forever to build. They're both building a platform. They will likely be, they may be integrated, but they will likely be kind of servicing different parts of the free speech world. So there you go. Yeah, Behizzy, it could be intertwined. I don't know that much detail about it. Mayan ethnicity is 6'2" American. Reagan, are you 6'2"? I didn't know you had that kind of height going for you, bro. Unless you just identify with that. Okay. If Maricopa audit shows that Trump won Arizona, will they decertify the 11 electors there? I mean, right now there's legislation going on in Arizona where they're trying to make it very difficult to recall people. I'm saying we all know why that is. There are going to be recalls, is all I'm saying. That's part of actually a longer-term Trump plan. This is something that I got a couple months ago that I first mentioned on the show, but recalls are difficult, but I only know that there's going to be some. So, but the Democrats know that, and so they're trying to make it very difficult to perform recalls in certain elections by passing laws. So all that stuff is coming, guys. Exiled in Louisiana, my Louisiana people. I was not notified of this live stream. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with this channel, but you know, I never know. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes over at YouTube land. Here's what's weird is I got that channel strike warning on the Ted Cruz video, and I gave a big response about why they should keep it up and that they should restore my challenge. And so that went up into YouTube. They wrote me back just this morning and agreed with me. They reposted the Ted Cruz video that got blocked, and they removed my channel strike warning. So I'm back to a clean slate on this thing. So YouTube, they can't be working 100% against me, or they wouldn't have done that. So that's a great blessing. Exiled in occupied communist territory in Atlanta. There you go. Keep your cards close to your chest. That is true. Trump doesn't have a very good track record for his nominations or his endorsement. Hopefully you will clarify a few things maybe. Kenneth, the way Trump chooses endorsements is he is always trying to unite conservatives. And he has already said, even in his primary, that he knew how to do politics because he knew that he would give money to both sides, and he gives money to all kinds of people, endorsements to all kinds of people. He just expects a lot in return that you will help support him. So you have to put the first step out and support someone. I'm only saying you'll never find a written endorsement of him on Lin Wood is a fact. So I look at evidence of who has he actually endorsed. And I'm just going on what he says. Okay. It's not that hard to figure out, guys. You just listen to him. He's not going to give you disinformation. He may be wrong about an endorsement, but you never know that it's wrong until way down the road when you get in trouble and you find out who has your back and who doesn't. Of course, my plan looks an awful lot like a chocolate fudge brownie. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds like a good plan, Thor. I ate so many carbs this weekend that I need to really go back to keto real quick. There's Kuzmeti. Hello. Old school Kuzmeti. Live Not by Lies, says Phone Punk. That is true. That is a book I'm reading by Rod Dreher about how to live in exile, really, which is a book I'm writing, but he's actually quoting Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who came out of communist Russia and wrote the Gulag Archipelago in prison. And really, it's about do not ever repeat a lie. If someone tells you a lie, you can't repeat it. So that's one of the things that he said is it's a simple rule. Another thing is don't sit in a room when someone tells a lie. So if I'm ever in a public room or even a church and they tell a lie from the pulpit, I will either stand up and yell or I will stand up and walk out. That is my commitment to the truth, is I don't stick around where lies are told. Because just being silent around lies is how they get spread, and they silently get your endorsement if you don't say anything. Can you please have Dave Cares for You on your channel? I don't know who Dave Cares for You is. I'd love to have more information on him. I'll give you a monkey wrench, says Bodo Bob. Yeah, monkey wrench. Love My Pillow. Hey, look, I just got a new My Pillow. It's a tiny butt pillow. Thank you, Mike Lindell. I got a tiny butt pillow. That's to help my butt bone because sometimes I'm sitting in this chair too long. I might also get a standing desk, which Behizzy has been showing me. Set up the L-shaped ambush for Dim Demons. They will definitely be interconnected, they say. I don't know that, but if you have any information on it, let me know. That's all. Okay, they need to work together, says you. I'm getting a message from a contact. Okay. Everyone's here. Don't forget. General Flynn is endorsing Wood, apparently. That's very interesting to me. General Flynn has been pretty quiet recently. I don't know of a Lin Wood endorsement because Lin Wood is basically carpetbagging in South Carolina. That's when you go in and you buy a bunch of land, like about $7 million worth of land, raised from who knows where, and then suddenly running for an election as if it's your, it's your home community. So we'll see. It really is up to the voters to figure out what they're going to do. So there you go. Hi from San Diego, California. He's exact Behizzy. Hi, Behizzy's here. Greetings, programs. Here you go. It's an amazing book. Live Not by Lies. Yeah, that's a good book. It's exhaustive. It needs an editor, but it's very good. Here's Marie Army. Recall. We're going to get a recall is coming. Look at this one. What are your thoughts about the COVID vaccine card Biden is trying to push? Use code words so we don't lose you again. You know I'm going to get lost on this one, Sealin. I'm going to get this channel wiped. Yeah, I can't comment on that, but I think you guys know what I think. You already know, right? Oh, do you like revolvers or auto loaders? I mean, I don't own a revolver. I only own auto loaders. So I'm saying my dad has all the revolvers. I use them all the time. I've used them a bunch. But, what's a revolver going to hold? Maximum ammo is going to be 5 or 6 rounds. So an auto loader, you're automatically up to 9 to 11 or more, depending if you have expanded cartridges, which I would never endorse in public. Here's My Pillow is awesome. That is true. Yeah, superior product. My butt feels better already. Mike Lindell, I'll do an endorsement. Doug TeNaples says, my butt feels better already. Oh, look, Portugal. Hello to my Portuguese people. Welcome to In Exile. Okay, the same way on Facebook, Google, and Twitter are all connected. Dave Cares is awesome. Okay. Anyway, to find out how many people died before the election. Shame on Lin Wood. Well, I can't go. I try not to judge people's motive because I don't know his motive. I only know that what he's doing is not helping Trump. So that's not motive. That's just the facts on the ground is, and I see an escalation of events over there, and it's not going to be pretty. And there's kind of the MAGA people, and then there's the Lin Wood people. And the Lin Wood people have told me that if there's a split between Lin Wood and Trump, they're going to follow Lin Wood. So that is not going to help Trump get reelected in 2024. That's all I'm saying is that split, it could happen. I don't know if it's going to be formalized in public or not, but I know that, Trump has a very methodical, exhaustive plan with a whole team of people where they're trying to reform the Republican Party by 2022 and then clear out a run with a lot of people supporting him or a Trump-blessed candidate for 2024. So the control of the Republican Party right now is either going to go Trump's way or it's going to go back to the swamp and go back to losing. So there's two choices. There's the kind of the conservative Trump organization running that, or there is going to be, it's going to go back to the swamp. And right now, the swamp does not have any energy or funding or organization. And there is some overlap between that swamp and Trump's camp because Trump can't win with a third party. He has to go through the Republican Party. So that could get ugly too. And I'll keep you guys posted as that unfolds. I'm only saying politics is not pretty, especially when you have to get majorities. It's majority, you have to get a majority. And you get, as they say, you get a majority bringing people into your party. And right now there's an argument in the Republican Party over, will the rhinos win? The old school rhinos are saying, Trump will get your people into our party. You can join us. And Trump is saying, no, we're going to be the party and you can come join us. So we'll see. We'll see. You have to get a majority is all there is to it. Doug TenNapel for Congress. Dude, can you imagine with this channel alone what opposition research could say against me? Just this one enough. My people. Upside down. How do you even do that? It's like a mirror. You guys are strange, man. Yeah, Lin Wood has fallen. I don't know what's going on over there, but he needs to get on board, buddy. Get on board. You fell off the MAGA train. Time to get back on. Okay. He said, yeah, I can't show some of these. I hope you guys can read the comments because I can't post some of these is all. Do you get tired of saying basic truths aren't true? I don't know of any basic truths that aren't true. How's that? I don't know of any. Salty Army in Canada. There you go. Okay. Oh, weird. Look at this. Here's Dave Cares as a human encyclopedia. Yeah, I'd love to have him on. About leading the charge in Arizona. He is one of the reasons Rhino Doug Ducey lifted the mandate. Yeah, see, and Doug Ducey's an example of someone who is a bit swampy, but still is doing some things to allow the Maricopa audit, which is weird to me. So I'm still getting more information on that. I'm still double checking and seeing where everyone's at. What else? Here's the Trump train. Oh, how tall are you? Here you go. I'm 6'8". I'm 6'8" tall. And it's why everyone who sees me in person goes, holy cow, how tall are you? That was, I think Liz Harris gave me one of those too. If AOC ran for Congress, so can Doug. Yeah, it's true. Well, if I was a pretty 25-year-old bartender, I think I'd probably have a better chance. Here's the theft of money and power by the Marxist Democrats. Liz Harris and I talked about this too. There are Marxist Republicans too. Swamp has 1.8 trillion to back them now. Democrats are splitting between the socialists and the old style moderates. It's true. Go after the moderate Democrats. That is true. By the way, both we will go after moderate Democrats and the AOC leftist hardcore Marxist will go after the Democrats, because that left side of the party is going to implode. Women equal men. Here's I would love to see your interview. Opposition Research equals old crap. Doug is in that channel. There couldn't get his mouth shut. It was one truth after another. He was served. Mitch Nelson, out with the rhinos. We need populists who desire a return to the Constitution and Declaration. No swamp rats or politician types. That's exactly what our government was comprised of. Well, anytime you get someone running in politics, they're going to turn into they have to be a politician type. It happens, I wish money wasn't involved, but it's too late for that. Money is extremely involved. But the bottom line is the people decide, and you can never, this is why I don't have fear, is I have my confidence is in the American patriot and the American voter, that I think I have a good idea of what they want and what they're aiming for. And I think it's all good news. The patriots are not afraid, and everyone else is. So you guys just keep walking the walk and we'll get there. Where's Out of the Darkness? Where's Q? We've been calling each other. He got a second channel strike on his main channel. So there's a link in the description for Out of the Darkness. Again is his second channel. We're trying to get him some subs over there. Out of the Darkness again is his second channel. There you go. Do I collect comics? Well, I make them. So I collect some, but mostly I tell stories. So every time the left tries to hate me and cancel me, and I eat it, and then I poop out true, good, and beautiful stories. That's how you win, is they don't ever dictate what my life is or is not anymore. So I'm as vocal as I want about my politics. I'm as vocal as I want about my Christianity, and I'm as vocal as I want about my love for family and truth and goodness and beautiful art, beautiful nature, beautiful ideas is what I love. That's my now you guys know what my passion is, and I stole all of that from C.S. Lewis. So there. One thing you can be sure of, you're onto something when you're being silenced. That is true. For those of you who do not have 2 strikes on your channel, get in there, buddy. Because I'm telling you, we are the front lines, and that's why both YouTube has me in their crosshairs, and there's some enemies of this channel that are reporting every video. This is what the darkness wants, and all I can say is I'm here to speak as long as I have. As long as I have air, as long as I'm drawing breath, I'm going to keep doing this. And it doesn't have to last forever. This is not about me. This channel can go away and you guys are going to be fine. I just hope I can get the truth out, put a few principles in your head on how to walk the walk, and how to stand up for what you believe in, and how to live a happy life in exile, because pretty soon everyone's going to be in exile, and we're going to keep walking. It's not going to end. Hey, Doug, invite Lin Wood on your channel. I would love to have Lin Wood on my channel, but he does not. He announced that he does not do small media anymore. He's only doing big media, big channels. Is the only invitation that he said he would accept. So he has an open invitation here. Anytime he wants to come on, I'd have him on and love to have a conversation with him. Right on, Doug. We must not fear the takeover. That is true. Guys, there's no room for fear, man. They're trying to terrify you about everything. And you know what I'm talking about? Like, don't be afraid. I have video footage of a guy that would not wear his mask on the airplane, and he was met by security. So I was videotaping their conversation. The security guy looked at me and he goes, who are you? And I go, I'm Doug TenNapel. I didn't quite say it that way, but yeah, I told him who I was. I said, I'm Doug effing TenNapel. How's that? And he looked at me and he just turned to the other guy and started talking to him, but I was afraid he was going to hit me with a security breach and I wouldn't be able to fly home. So, you know, everyone is wearing their mask and all the people in first class are looking at each other going like, come on. Anyways, warn against sex bots and trolls in the comments increasing. Yeah, that's why I need to spread around some more moderators so you guys can start removing these comments. There's all kinds of bots and trolls in the comments, and they're robots that just plaster links. Never click a link in the description that is not by me. Never click a link, because they can put malware on your computer. They can put spam on your computer. And oftentimes there's some really bad stuff on there. So that's just kind of general YouTube etiquette, is be very careful. Make sure that the link that you click on is by either a moderator on the channel or the channel creator. So love you to my brothers in Christ. Thank you so much, my people. I am the biggest, just the worst Christian I know. I follow Jesus, and I'm not, my good works are not what saved me. So that's what I say to anyone. You know, there's so many Christians out there, millions of us, and no one can be better than another. All you can do is take on Christ, and his work is our only righteousness and our only boast. Outside of that, I only boast of my fallenness. So that's just the way it goes. That's just old school orthodoxy is all. Here's if Lin Wood knew I had over 500,000 subscribers, he might come on. Well, anytime he wants to come on, he can come on. I'll go toe to toe with, I'll go talk to any man. Trump can come on. I'll have Lin Wood, Mike Lindell. But usually I just enjoy having my buddies on Q and Be Hizzy. I do want to bring on Nick Masader, and I always have Nick Rekieta on, and open invitations to a lot of these guys. And I'm going to do some comic book promotions on my art channel too. So that's all there is to it. We all fall short of the glory of God, says Bodabad. These are all just basic old school Christian facts that I'm never in a position to say you're not a Christian, because all of us are given by Christ as an example. The example he gave us was the tax collector who said, "Forgive me, a wretched man." That's who we are. We are all the wretched man. Not right. And that's why I can't, there's all kinds of people that judge, you know, they might even judge Lin Wood, who's a baby Christian, or George Bush or Mike Pence or Trump or whatever, or even Obama. And it's like, in general, if some guy is claiming Christ's name, you know, I don't question their following Christ. I may question their dogma or their religion all day. I have all kinds of disagreements with people, and you guys have seen me voice some of those. I have disagreements with some Catholics, and I have disagreements with some Pentecostals. I have disagreements with both Calvinists and free will Arminianists, but I'm a mutt in that I draw information and goodness from all sources. That's my goal, is I just want the truth. I don't really care about the source. So there you go. You're a strong Christian right there. You go. My followers right there. Here's Biden and Pelosi are heretics. Again, I can say what they do regarding the life issue is an abomination. So I'll let God figure out the rest. We judge actions as Yeshua. Yeah. Doug in Exile Archives, are you planning on doing a painting art stream with Nick Rekieta? And also, how about an art channel content? Yeah, I'm talking to my friend Brian Shearer about bringing him on the show to promote his new book. He's a comic book creator. And really, it's just a matter of, I'm always trying to rebuild these kind of channels that YouTube's been breaking. So right now, my goal is to build this channel. And then we'll get back over on the art channel and do some art streams. So I have been doing some artwork, but it's just kind of little sketchbook stuff that doesn't fit well on the table under the camera. That's all. Here's, there you go. I backed Gunship Thunder Punch. There you go. Thanks, Hervoye. That's one of the guys that I'm going to have on my channel. His book is called Gunship Thunder Punch. Just a great brother out in the Carolinas. Gunship Thunder Punch. Yeah. My buddy Brian Shearer, the author, he got COVID and got knocked down pretty hard. So I enjoy the beta video. Yeah, I make fish tanks over there. You want to try it when you get another one. Definitely get a larger bowl than I'm showing, because those are temp enclosures. They go in a bigger bowl. You want, a 1 to 5 gallon for a pretty beta fish. That's the main thing I'm doing. There's a buddy from New Zealand, my people. The animated stuff that you see in the intro of me wearing the hat, that's the CG computers by one of my buddies out in New Zealand. Our forefathers who formed our country and constitution were all Christians. Not all of them, but most of them sure were. They believed they were performing God, walking in God's hands, God's will, God's steps. Here's Reagan Lodge. Gab has been awesome audience growth for my graphic novel. Huge engagement. Highly recommend you all join us there. I agree. Do go to Gab and sign up. You can follow me on Gab. You can find Reagan Lodge on Gab. The audience is fantastic. These are good people. My pastor's on Gab. How's that? There was a Q comment on here I'm looking for. Called Paint. He puts his political stuff on Rumble. Huh. Here's a guy, he has a show called Paint the Trump. I'm going to do a painting of Trump on my art channel. It's coming. And then I'm going to sell prints on the store so you can all get one. But I got to work on that still. Thank you, Doug, for your great courage. To be a citizen journalist, mainstream media are fertile. I salute you. And the rest of it is walking the walk. Yeah, we're the only ones interested in news and the truth from all sources. And then everyone else, they like edit all this stuff, all this important stuff out. On the border, they're not allowing video cameras down there. I'm just saying, who's going to report the truth to you people? I don't know. I don't get it. And I'm just one opinion. You know me. I'm a barely literate comic book artist. And I just give you whatever news I find that I think everyone needs to know that isn't regularly reported in big media. That's the stuff that I'm trying to show. That's all. Okay, so that's the show. That's why I went to Arizona. Now you all know. Be strong. Don't give up. Don't fear. I mean, man, there's fear. Just everyone's going around. I don't have any fear at all in me. I only fear God. And all of you, I just appreciate that you guys are watching and listening. And I'll keep banging out videos all day. Do spread the link to this around so they can hear my cousin Gage's story. May he rest in peace. He went on to glory, and I'll see him again one day. And hopefully I'll see all of you there too. I'm Doug TenNapel in exile.